Hi, welcome to the Action Speak Network. I'm Manazai. Today, the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, the Trump administration, led by Kristi Noem, launched a new version of the CBP-1 application. You all remember this app was used by migrants under the Biden administration to apply for legal status in the United States. But now, the Department of Homeland Security has reprogrammed this CBP-1 app, and now it's being used for self-deportation purpose. It means if you are illegal in the United States of America, you can go to this app and report yourself, and then you can be deported. You can leave the country. And according to what the DHS is saying, the Department of Homeland Security, if you use this app and do your self deportation, then you will be eligible to come back to the US in the future. But if you don't do so, according to the DHS, if they find you, you will be deported and you will be banned permanently from entering the United States of America. Play the clip.
The Trump administration has taken that controversial CBP-1 cell phone app for migrants that the Biden administration was using, and they've repurposed it into a self-deportation app that is officially launching today. And we're getting an exclusive first look at it. Take a look. The app is now called CBP Home. It allows illegal aliens in the U.S. to register to self-deport. They fill out biographical information, including their countries of citizenship, which country they plan to return to, their alien registration numbers, their contact information, and it allows them to upload photos of themselves to confirm their identity. All of it is then submitted to CBP, and they leave the country. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why would an illegal immigrant want to self-deport? Well, DHS says if they leave now, they will have the opportunity to return to the U.S. legally in the future and chase the American dream. But if they don't leave, they will be found, arrested, detained, and deported with a permanent ban on entry into the United States. In a statement to Fox News, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said in part, quote, the Biden administration exploited the CBP-1 app to allow more than 1 million aliens to illegally enter the United States. With the launching of the CBP Home app, we are restoring integrity to our immigration system. If they don't self-deport, we will find them, deport them, and they will never return. The Biden administration's use of the CBP-1 app allowed more than 40,000 migrants to come into the U.S. at a port of entry every single month. That totaled nearly 1 million migrants by the end of his presidency. President Trump terminated that app immediately upon taking office, leading to scenes like this, showing migrants dismayed at the border on the day of his inauguration as they learned their CBP-1 appointments were canceled and were never coming back. And DHS tells me that any migrants who had that CBP-1 app on their phone will see it automatically update to this new self-deportation app starting today. And DHS can also use the data from the prior CBP-1 registrations to track migrants for removal. So in a nutshell, Dana, Trump just took Biden's program, which was bringing migrants in, and has now totally repurposed it to get them out.
Yesterday, President Trump had an interview with an anchor from Fox News, and he was asked about the negotiation with Iran, the nuclear deal negotiations that are to be held with Iran. And she said Russia has announced that they are ready to help the United States reach an agreement with Iran for a nuclear deal. So she wanted to get the take of Donald Trump on the position of Russia in this deal. Play the clip.
There are reports now that Russia says it will help the United States negotiate a nuclear deal with Iran. What kind of a deal with Iran do you want to do? You said they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. Well, there are two ways Iran can be handled, militarily or you make a deal. I would prefer to make a deal because I'm not looking to hurt Iran. They're great people. I know so many Iranians from this country.
Well, not the leadership.
No, not the leadership.
The people.
They're very evil people. No, but the people of Iran are great people. But they had a tough regime, and they'd meet and they'd be shot in the streets. I mean, it was a tough deal. But I would rather negotiate a deal. I'm not sure that everybody agrees with me, but we can make a deal that would be just as good as if you won militarily. But the time is happening now. The time is coming up. Something's going to happen one way or the other. I hope that Iran, and I've written them a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because If we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
You wrote a letter to the Khomeini,
Yes.
the leader? When did you send the letter?
Yesterday.
And you said you better negotiate, or we want you to
I didn't
negotiate?
say you better. I said
Okay.
I hope you're going to negotiate, because it's going to be a lot better for Iran. And I think they want to get that letter. The other alternative is we have to do something, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Then President Trump revealed that right now there are very, very dangerous nuclear weapons that have been developed by so many nations around the world, and that if the world was aware of the type of weapon, nuclear weapon that are available right now, it would be a scary thing for everyone in the whole world. And he said that when he listened to the scientists who are talking about climate change and talking about how the world can be destroyed or devastated in the next 300 years, for him, it's very shocking, because they have to focus on the type of nuclear weapon that are currently available in the world. Play the clip.
Not in these days. I'd love to cut defense spending, but not now, because you have China, you have Russia,
Yeah,
you have a
glad to
lot
hear
of
you say it,
problems
yeah.
out there. No.
In fact,
no.
this-
What I have said is, we spend a lot of money on nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons. The level of destruction is beyond anything you can even imagine. It's just bad that everybody has to spend all this money on something that, if it's used, it's probably the end of the world.
Wow. I don't know
it's
what to
true.
say to that.
You know, when I listen to these, when I
because,
listen to these climate lunatics, and they talk about global warming, and they say the ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch in the next 300 years, and and nobody ever talks about nuclear weapons or some of the other things, but the nuclear weapons in particular right now. And they talk about the climate, and they talk about the dangers of the climate, but they don't talk about the dangers of a nuclear weapon, which could happen tomorrow. They say in 300 years, I watched Biden for years say the existential threat. He loved the term existential threat.
President Trump was asked if he's sure that the Ukrainian soil contains the precious minerals like the raw earth that the US need for their technology development. And President Trump said he has the confirmation, and that experts have already checked the soil and confirmed that yes, this Ukrainian soil contains this precious mineral. He said this. Play the clip.
are you sure there's the content that you think there is there? Because some people were questioning if, in fact, there is the titanium and the lithium, all those battery, the rare earth minerals. Do you think it is rich with those
Well,
things?
I do. I mean, I've had it checked. I've had it checked by
Okay.
the best. It's very valuable, but
During this interview with Marion Bartomeu of Fox News, President Trump also spoke about the tariff that he's imposed on Canada, Mexico, and China. He explained the positive points of this tariff and what the American people have to be prepared for. He said this.
Can you give us a sense of whether or not we are going to get clarity for the business community?
well, I think so. But the tariffs could go up as time goes by, and they may go up. And I don't know if it's predictability. I think
So that's not clarity?
No, I think that they say that. It sounds good to say.
Will we have clarity?
You'll have a lot, but we may go up with some tariffs. It depends. We may go up. I don't think we'll go down, but we may go up. But they have plenty of clarity. They just use that. That's like almost a soundbite.
Republican Senator Kennedy went on Fox News today, where he was interviewed and asked several questions in respect to the activities of Department of Government Efficiency led by Elon Musk, the Doge. Senator Kennedy explained how this department and the Trump administration is going to reduce the U.S. debt and also fight against inflation. He had this to say. Play this clip.
President Trump is going to get these high prices down because of all the issues we've talked about. Not a single one is more important than inflation and high prices. Because when moms and dads lie down to sleep at night and can't, high prices are one of the things they're worried about. I think President Trump and us, we together, are going to try to do it by reducing spending, deregulating the economy and lowering the costs of goods and services, and rewriting the tax code so it looks like somebody designed it on purpose and increases wages. If we do that, those high prices will come down.
We all know now that Justin Trudeau, the former Prime Minister or the Prime Minister of Canada, is stepping down, and that is going to be replaced by Mark Carney. So Mark Carney had an address today to the Canadian people, and he spoke directly to President Trump, and during his speech he has some very strong words toward President Trump in respect to the current trade war that's going on between Canada and the United States of America. And he said that although the US has paused their tariffs on Canada until April, he said the Canadian tariff on the US products will stay in place until the United States of America shows some degree of respect towards Canada. And he said this, play the clip.
Donald Trump thinks he can weaken us with his plan to divide and conquer. Pierre Poilievre's plan will leave us divided and ready to be conquered. Because a person who worships at the altar of Donald Trump will kneel before him, not stand up to him. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look. We didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Some DHS officials were testifying today in Congress, and when questioned by Representative Nancy Mace, some of the DHS officials gave some shocking revelation in which they said members of cartels were using the CBP-1 application to bring criminal migrants to the United States of America. And they said this, play the clip.
Can you speak to how the Biden administration used technology to facilitate the invasion of illegal aliens into the country?
Yes, ma'am. For one, CBP-1 app, I believe, was definitely misused by the Biden administration to allow people to come in. And that was one technology that was developed out of something that it shouldn't have been used for. I think it was a go-around around Congress to allow people to enter the United States. And we've seen a lot of those cases that have entered on the CBP-1 app show up as criminal aliens, in the arrests that we've made.
How's the app used?
How is it used?
Yeah, how's it used to do that?
Well, what we've seen, especially the fraud from that, is that the cartels were actually using it down in Mexico and having people sign up through them to then get on the CBP-1 app and get around, being able to go through. So the cartels were actually making money off of the CBP-1 app.
Mohamed Kelly, the activist who is considered by many as the main leader of the protest movement that has been going on in the University of Columbia, was arrested today by the police and is currently being detained. Reports show that the government is even considering cancelling his green card so he can be deported back to his home country. Play the clip.
Semitic chaos at Columbia University prompting the White House to take action. ICE agents arresting protest leader Mahmoud Halil. His attorney says the administration is moving to cancel his green card. Maya Sulkin is a Columbia graduate. She is a reporter and assistant editor for the Free Press, and so good to see you in person. His attorney says ICE's arrest and detention of Mahmoud follows the U.S. government's open repression of student activism and political speech, specifically targeting students at Columbia for criticism of Israel's assault on Gaza.
There you have it, folks. On the Action Speak Network, we give you the information as it is. We do not give our personal opinions. Our personal opinions, we keep them for ourselves. If you have an idea or you have some comment, leave them in the comment section. We will check it out. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 1,000. I'm out.
fire make we burn.